Hey guys, it's Nija. Welcome back. So we have an intuitive download today, and this message is for those of you guys who are manifesting love, or specifically who have been feeling a little love sick lately, is the message that I'm getting. So this download is for you. And the guides say that if you are manifesting love, write them a letter. Now, where did this download come from? The other night I was sitting in my room and I was just getting flooded with these messages, for lack of a better word, and it was an internal dialogue happening between myself and my future significant other. Very strange. And so you might notice, here's the message for specific people. When you go on maybe like TikTok or social media and you see other people with their significant other and you have that feeling like, oh my God, I'm so happy for them, but where is my person? This information is going to help you bring you closer to your person. And also, if you've been feeling love sick, or just very like you're trying to manifest your person, or maybe you're not necessarily ready to call them into your life, but you just want to open up that dialogue. Your guides want you to know that you are always in communication with the people that are supposed to show up in your life, whether they are physically here or not. You have an energetic tether to the people that you're meant to be with. Whether this is the absolute love of your life, whether this is just the next person you intend to hook up with, whether this is whoever, you are energetically connected to that person. And so if you are ready, the message is to start communicating with them. Open up that channel of communication. And what this does is, one, it strengthens the connection or the bond or this energetic tether that is ever present. Two, it is going to soothe the heart. A lot of people's nervous system, you feel anxious or, again, lovesick. Whatever the words are, the emotional signature that you've been feeling, you can soothe that within yourself by opening up the lines of communication with this significant other. So this is actually what happened to me the other night. I was writing in my little journal, and I won't share the message that I wrote today, but maybe one day, if we make this like a manifestation practice, I will share the letter. But I have this part in my journal dedicated to love and all that fun stuff, and I did end up writing whoever was showing up. I don't know who was showing up in my psyche, I have no idea, but I called them lover. So yeah, wrote a lover a nice little message, and honestly it felt really good. It felt very therapeutic. It felt like talking to somebody that I knew and loved deeply, and that knew and loved me deeply. It felt like we were having an energetic conversation. It felt like my soul could reach them, and like whether they were open to receiving it or not, like they still somehow received the message, even if it was just the feeling or sensation of being loved or being wanted or being missed is a big theme that a lot of us feel. We're like, oh my God, I feel like I miss somebody that I don't even know. That is a real thing. And sometimes when you feel that, it is you. And sometimes when you feel that, it is the person who desires you the way that you desire them, sending out those signals, those frequencies of I'm missing you, I'm wanting you, I'm thinking of you, though you guys might not even know each other yet in the physical presence. Energetically, on a soul level, you guys know each other, and it goes back to these soul contracts that we make before we incarnate into the earth realm. We make agreements. You're gonna be my boyfriend, you're gonna be my husband, you're gonna be my wife, you're gonna be my girlfriend, you're gonna be my one-night stand, we're gonna have a fling, we're gonna date for a few months. All of these relationships have been like already calculated and planned out. Could be people you knew from past lives, could be people you are meeting for the first time in this incarnation. Doesn't matter, but you've already agreed to meet with certain people. How you decide who you're connecting with next is the energy or frequency or resonance that you are currently residing at. For example, if you were to write a letter to said lover, it could be your life partner that you're channeling and writing that message to, or it could be the next person that you might hook up with, or the next person that you might, whatever, have a 6-month relationship and then it, you know, goes to shit. Doesn't matter. You can reach these people psychically. Now, you have to be very careful with this tool, because that's just what it is. Again, as humans, we are all connected energetically, empathically. I'm hearing consciously, like in your psyche, what happens in the mental realm and in mental spaces. And so, like, you'll notice, like, even like if you know somebody and you feel like they're talking about you, you don't know how or why you feel that way, but energetically you feel like they're talking about you. Or like, have you ever like been thinking about somebody and they reach out to you? Why? Because they were thinking about you too, right? And so we have this power as empathic beings of being able to telepathically communicate with each other. Whether you decide to believe in it or not, it's a thing. If you want to test this out, I want you to think about somebody in your head that you actually do know and focus on them. Focus on having a conversation with them in your head. See them. Act as if you're face to face with them, having a conversation with them. Channel them in your head. You can actually get somebody to send you a text message or give you a phone call or anything like that just by focusing on somebody. In the same breath, if somebody were to, I don't know, be talking shit about you or saying something nasty about you or having a low vibrational conversation or thought about you, you can receive that and pick it up. Why? We've got these energetic like antlers and we're constantly picking up information from different people, because just like cell phones, we are the original technology. So the way that we can pick up our cell phone and shoot somebody a text and it instantly gets to them, you can think about somebody, send them a text with your mind, and it gets to them. Whether they decide to act on the message that they received from you or not is irrelevant, but they still got it, okay? And so, like, think about like if you were ever thinking about your ex, right? Or maybe your ex was thinking about you, because you never think about them, but they pop into your head. These are energetic psychic conversations that are happening. So this is how I know that if you decide to write a letter to your lover, write a message to the person that you desire to be with, the person that your soul has in store for you next, they will get the message, because that is what the human tech does, right? And so if you're trying to manifest somebody, call somebody into you, you can use this technique of writing them a letter to draw them in closer, to strengthen you guys' relationship. Have you ever met somebody and when you meet them, you're like, oh my God, I feel like I know you, right? I feel like we've met before. Maybe you have met before, maybe not in the 3D reality, but like maybe in your dreams. Sometimes we meet up with our significant other or the person we're supposed to be with in our dreams before we physically meet them. And that's why when we do meet them in the physical, their energy feels so familiar to us, because you've been having dreams about cuddling with them, kissing with them, going on dates with them in the astral plane. And then when they finally show up in your reality, you're like, oh my God, I know you. Right? And that's how, like, when you meet somebody and you click so easily, because you've already made that energetic introduction in the astrals. This is a real thing. So the message and advice, if you are desiring to draw yourself closer to this significant other or this lover or this person that you're trying to draw into you, start writing them letters, right? You can do psychic messages, like you can just like boop, thinking about you, really missing you, hope you're doing well, right? You can do that, but there's power in the pen. So physically writing them a letter, and I'm also hearing like making them a collection of letters, right? And so like when you feel that lovesick feeling, when you feel sad, when you're like, where's my person? Oh my goodness, write to them. Say what you're doing today, what you're thinking about. Say how excited you are to be with them. Say how excited you are to go on your first trip together, or how excited it is to know that they're coming. How excited it is to have so much love and admiration for somebody that you've never even met yet, right? Have these conversations because they can hear them, they're receiving them. Now, even if the person that you're meant to be with is with somebody else currently because they're needing to learn certain lessons or prepare themselves for your arrival, that happens sometimes too. And so in some letters that I wrote, I found myself like saying things like, you might be with somebody else. I hope that you're learning and enjoying this experience so that whenever, you know, that ends, you will be ready for me and I will be ready for you. Something to also think about: if there are parts within you that are unhealed, you want to address that, because if you do not, you will end up attracting your next lesson that will initiate that healing for you, meaning that you will manifest or attract your next partner who might not be the one that you're meant to marry or the one that you're going to end up with for years and years and years to come. However, they are showing up in your life to help to mold and shape you into the version of yourself who will be ready to receive that next great love. So that happens sometimes too when we're still doing inner work within ourselves. For example, in my previous relationship, I learned about attachment styles, and I realized that I was an avoidant attachment, and I realized that the person that I was with was an anxious attachment. And if you know anything about attachment styles, that it can be very hard to find common ground when you're anxious and your person is avoidant, right? And so this was something that I had to address and heal within myself, because I realized that if that divine partner who I'm meant to be with for years and years and years to come were to enter my reality right now, and I still had this attachment style where when I am faced with conflict, all I want to do is run away, right? If you were to meet the person that you're supposed to be with today, would you be the version of yourself who you need to be able to sustain that relationship? I don't know. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. If the person that you are manifesting has not shown up in your reality yet, it could be because there's still some work that you need to do on your end. It could be that there's still some work that they need to do on their end. Sometimes there are karmic partners that show up in our reality to get us ready for that great love, for that grand partnership. And so we have to see those partnerships as significant as well, because they are I'm saying like sandpaper, or also like they're like chiseling away at the parts of us that need to fall away so that we can be ready for our divine union, so that when you meet that person that you're supposed to be with, they recognize the light in you and you recognize the light in them, without these I'm hearing like templates, or without these extra things installed in us that would make us not a match to the person that we're meant to be with. So if you are trying to manifest love in your life, start writing messages to your lover. Start writing letters to this person who you're meant to be with. And just feel really good about it. Feel really good about knowing that you guys are already connected, right? Feel really good about knowing that you guys are en route to each other. This is going to speed up the process of attracting that person to you. And also, when you see other people who have what you want in relationships, you see them going on dates, you see them holding hands when they're walking down the street, you see beautiful partnerships, and it makes you think about you and your love and who's coming to you. Be grateful. Send them love. Send those people love, right? Because again, it's all reciprocal. So seeing other people in love and, you know, happy with their significant other, if you can be happy for them, that shows energetically the universe that you are also ready for the person that you're ready to call forth into your reality. When you see other partnerships but you have feelings of jealousy, or you're like, oh my god, they're just cheating on each other anyway, or any type of ill will that you send towards people when you see them in their partnership, right? That is only highlighting within you where there is still work to be done within yourself. Another example, if you are constantly like hating on men, or you're constantly hating on women, but you think that you're going to call in a divine union or divine partnership, what you're really going to call in is somebody who is going to further mirror back to you that belief that you have within your head that you can't trust men, or that you can't trust women, or that all men are cheaters, or that all women are bops, or whatever it is, the belief template that's running in your head. So notice that when people show up in your reality, they're also reflecting and mirroring back to you the beliefs that you hold. But when you, I'm hearing, purify your beliefs, refine your beliefs, so that they are a reflection of what it is that you're truly trying to attract, then and only then is that divine union going to show up in your reality. So I hope that this message has been helpful. I want you guys, if you feel inspired, to go ahead and write a letter to your lover, and don't just do it once. Like anytime that you miss them, or you want to be with them, or you want, you know, to communicate with them, but they haven't quite yet arrived in your reality, pull out a pen and paper and write them. You can save up the letters, and when you finally meet them, you can give it to them, or you can like just keep writing and save it. You can put it in a journal, you can put it in a jar, like a manifestation jar, anything like that. And just cultivate that practice, and know that when you do that, you are in contact with the next person that you are meant to be with, and that's a really exciting feeling. One last tip they want me to share with you guys is that if you are indeed manifesting love into your reality, you must put yourself out there. So whether you're doing that by being on dating apps, or just leaving your house, putting yourself where you want to be, putting yourself where you believe that your significant other will be, right? And so if you're not trying to manifest somebody who parties all the time, maybe it doesn't make sense to go to the club looking for your significant other. If you're not trying to manifest somebody who is, you know, whatever it is that you're not trying to manifest, don't look for your person in those places, if that makes sense, okay? You need to put yourself where they are going to be. And this is something I told one of my clients in our coaching session. She asked me, am I going to meet the person that I'm supposed to be with? You know, is it gonna happen? And the message that I received, because I was pulling tarot cards for her, and I was like, what popped back to me was, well, are you making yourself available? Are you putting yourself out there? Do you spend most of your time in the house than out of the house? When you leave the house, do you look presentable? Do you look like the version of yourself who your dream partner wants? All of this is coming into play, right? And so if you're trying to attract and manifest that person, one, you have to leave your house or put yourself out there. If you're like using an app or something to find them, that's fine. But put yourself out there. And when you put yourself out there, whether it's like leaving the house, make sure that you look like the version of yourself who is ready for that divine union. Because if you don't, you never know. You probably have bumped into your significant other, you know, at the grocery store, or like, I don't know, at an amusement park, or wherever it is that you go. But if you don't look the part, they might not see you. And I know you might be thinking, well, they should love me regardless of what I look like, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure they will when they get to know you, but like, first impressions are everything. So look the part, put yourself out there, start writing them, cultivating a relationship with them before they even appear in your 3D reality. And this is really going to help you to manifest this person. I really hope that this video was helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to have a one-on-one chat with me so that you can get more clarity about who your person is, when they're coming in, or how you can manifest them even faster, you can go to nijasym.com/coaching and we can set up a time to chat. I love you guys very much. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.